and welcome back to Art with Miss Choate. Today we're pairing up with Miss Nutra at the Winfield Public Library, and she's reading a book about my garden. So we're going to do a little project to fit in with that book, and we are going to be painting rocks today. Now we're not going to be using paint, we're actually going to be using crayons. So you're going to be taking a rock, and you can go out in your yard, find a rock, or if you have some rocks already in your house that you've collected, we're going to be putting in the oven with a parent, of course, safely. We're going to be putting on a cookie sheet at 350 for about 10 minutes, and they're going to come out warm. And so you want to make sure you're wearing a little oven mitt, and you're going to take your crayons, and we're going to be able to draw on them, and those crayons are going to melt, and it's going to be beautiful, and we can go put it out in our garden. So go find a rock, start preheating your oven with a parent, and let's see what we can make. We have our rocks in the oven. It's preheating, but I'm just gonna stick them in anyways at 350. And we're gonna give them about 10 minutes to get nice and warm, and we'll pull them out with an oven mitt. So here we go. We have actually our second rock out of the oven. The first one, I was silly and forgot to hit the record button. So this one I pulled out of the oven. I have it on a little silicone mat. If you have a baking tray and then a little coaster you can put on top of that will also work. Make sure you have your oven mitt. If you're doing this, and you're younger and you have a parent, they can pass you the crayon, and now you can start to draw on your rock. Now I'm gonna actually take off my mitt and pick it up so it's closer to the camera. Be very careful, the rocks are hot, and we can go ahead. You can draw something specific. You can go abstract. We can just see how these colors blend together. So if I'm doing some blues, I'm going to do some purple. And look at how it just beautiful. It starts to melt right off the crayon. And remember, you don't have to do this with brand new crayons. It does make it easier when you have a little bit of room to grip it. But this is a great project to do with scraps. So if you have some scrap crayons, just make sure you have enough that you can hold on to it. You will only be able to do one side of your rock because if you roll it over, now your crayon will get onto whatever surface you're doing this on, and you won't be able to, if it cools and the crayon dries, then the other side is going to be too cool to be able to use. And it's so much fun. You can see what the colors do when they touch each other. And we have this beautiful rock to put into our garden. Now my other one looks like it's dry and cool enough to touch. Now we can't put this back in the oven because otherwise the crayon will melt right off and it'll get on our tray. But we could take a Sharpie and write something on top. And you can keep going with so many different rocks. And I had one more rock in the oven, so let's give it a go. I'm going to stick with some lighter colors this time. We're going to do some yellow. I'm going to give it a base of all yellow, thinking about the sun and a dandelion. Like I said, you can go ahead. This one got really hot. I can see the steam coming off of it, so be very, very careful. Now maybe I could do some little green. I like how that's looking. You can see how the colors are just mixing together right away, and they're actually spilling down the side. So pretty. Maybe I can hit a little bit of orange. Oh, look at that. It's almost like magic, hitting the sides and it's running down. So there's some benefits with it getting very hot, and there's also some benefits. So the other two rocks I took out of the oven a little early, and the crayon still melted, but not as fast as this. But this one is steaming, so you gotta be very careful. So you can play with taking it out early versus leaving it in a little bit longer. So let's take a look at this one. That one's cooled off enough, and that looks so pretty. So I hope you had fun today painting our rocks with crayons. And remember, you can use little scraps of crayons. It doesn't have to be your nice, beautiful ones straight out of your box. So hold on to those old crayons, decorate some rocks you find out in the yard, and this is a wonderful, very cheap project that you can help decorate even in your house. If you have a little plant, set it by your plant, and it's just a wonderful little project to enhance your garden. So now go listen to my mom read my garden on the Winfield Public Library's page. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.